more than 200 million damage, and up to 15 trials, including all 9 of the RAM trials. That's what I have been able to do with my brand new Chimera team. And this is all thanks to just one change in all of my team. And the only question I can think of is, why didn't I think of this sooner? Let's go. Hey guys, SMZ here, we're back playing Raid Shadow Legends. And yes, I have been thinking, why didn't I make this switch sooner? I'm talking about this crazy champion which helps me do this. So the Immortal Soulstone, I got a 6-star soul for this guy, and he has helped me out in clearing out the faction wars for Undead. But here he is in all his glory, Mashald, or the Salad Man, or many different names that people have for him. Not the prettiest looking champion, but he does a lot. Ever since there's been that change to the Chimera Ram with the reflect damage, True Fear has gone up in value. The problem is there are very few True Fear champions. I made a video about using just normal Fear with Lydia, and again, disclaimer with that video. So what I proposed in that video was that we can use the Leech as in addition to the normal Fear with Lydia, and that works in healing you overall net. And there was a problem with that video. So that strategy does work. However, it only works if the damage that you are doing, the 10% of that damage is basically lower than the HP of your champion. So if you're doing a burst of damage in one go, then the 10% is still going to be higher and it'll kill you, which is why I've actually taken down that video. It's unlisted. However, if on the lower levels, that should still work. What that means is you do need True Fear in order to do massive amounts of damage, which I am hoping for. Lydia in that blessing, what's it called, which changes the smaller version to a larger version, Nature's Bounty. It's still not worth it in my opinion. Even at 5-star, it's 45%. Even at 6-star, 60%. It's not reliable. So I've kept her at Brimstone. There's a free champion that you can get by using the link in my description. That is Narma the Return, a great champion to battle the Demon Lord. And you can get her alongside other crazy good epic champions like Anax, like Uugo, and like Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. How to get these champions for free? Here's how to do it. You go into your Plarium Play and log out of your current account. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Download the game and then play the tutorial, and you will find Narma sitting there chilling in your inbox. And you can get all of these crazy good epic champions as you progress through the game. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Click the link in the description and get these cool champions. And then the question was, either I continue with Paragon with the Unkillable, or I think of something new. And my something new there was Mashald. So what does he bring? So of course, on his A1, which is an amazing ability, what he does is he brings True Fear for 2 turns. True Fear is a very scarce debuff. Very few champions have it. He also brings Leech. My Leech is covered also by my, what's her name, Arbice. But also good to have a Leech here. Obviously helps with also healing quite a lot. Increased crit damage for the whole team is also something that he does bring, which is needed for one of the RAM trials. And increased speed is always good to have. He hits quite hard with his A1 and heals himself. But also his A3 is great because he can steal back whatever the Viper form steals from you. So it's very nice. And also he puts out heal reduction. And then I have him built in an 8-piece Merciless set. The 9th piece, I'm still missing like a good crit damage amulet for the Merciless for Undead. But he's in a pretty good build. His accuracy is not high enough to land consistently the debuffs, which is where the rest of the team comes in because Marius brings the increased accuracy. And I have him in Erethi Coronet, plus 12 at this moment. And I found this very interesting gemstone. I think this is really good for him, especially for the waves content. For Faction Wars Hard Mode, I've used him quite a bit. When attacking enemies under all these crowd control debuffs, including True Fear, which he puts out, with the default skill, has a 10% chance to increase the attack, which is great for this guy because he hits everybody having Leech. And then the second one is just to basically ignore or improve his survivability because he does die a few times because he's not as tanky. Crushing Rend on the 6-star because we don't have area bonuses or whatnot. It's very useful. Helm Smasher on the tier 6. What is the rest of the team? I still am keeping Lydia. Of course, she's very versatile. I'm using her in 9-piece Feral now. instead of 9-piece protection, because Feral brings 4 debuffs, potentially 5 for the Viper form, and then include Brimstone, that's 6. And then that's a lot more damage than the 2 buffs that she brings. However, if you're lacking survivability, then protection is better, because protection has a chance to give you a protected strengthen, which is very, very useful. So you have to think of that as well, and I might switch back as well at some point. I don't know. Arbice is my next champion. She's the basic building block of this team, because on his alternate form, on her alternate form, the increase or the decreased speed debuff as well as the stone skin helps a lot with dealing with the ram form. I am gonna give you some suggestions on what replacements you can use towards the end of the video, so please stick around for that. I got finally a 6-star blessing. I pulled that on one of the videos. So I have an intimidating presence, which is great, and I use her as one of my core arena champions, live arena champions. And she's now joining for the first time ever, first champion on my team to have 400 speed. Super, super proud of that. Super happy that I'm able to finally achieve that. And then these are the masteries for her. Marius I've showcased many times over, 9-piece Slayer, Cat's Gaze, Crushing Rend, and then these. And then finally, Elva is on the team. You can use many other revivers, but Elva's just freaking amazing. That's what she is. 9-piece protection as well. These are all the stats. I took Burst Shadow to plus 15. Now it has a whopping 18% chance to basically get an extra turn, which is great. And yeah, these are the blessings as well for her. So what happened is that I was on vacation for the last couple of weeks. I was traveling in the south of Colombia in the Amazon rainforest. Very, very amazing. One of the best experiences of my life. But the raid addict that I am, I thought of this Mashal in the middle of the rainforest for some reason. And I was like, why am I not using this guy? And then I played around with him. And I managed to do like 230 million damage with 15 trials. And then once I was back, I tried to replicate that. And then I fell a bit short because the RNG went bad, and then I was too tired to do it again. So now I have, for this particular run, and this is Ultra Nightmare, almost 200 million damage and 14 trials. I know, travesty, 14 trials instead of 15. But yeah, this team is definitely going to do more than 200 million, does close to 230, 240. Can even go higher if I manual the run properly. So I recorded this run. I'm going to showcase the video. I'm going to look at certain parts of the run and show you how it works, especially for the ram form, because you can do all the ram form trials with this team. So especially on weeks that you have the 4-star basalt with the ram form, definitely worth running this team. Now the meta is to basically run a different team depending on where the 4-star basalt is sitting, basically. So let's jump into the run and I'll showcase what we have. All right. So here's the run, here's the team. As you can see, the 5 that I have showcased. Starting the run, I'll just quickly move over to the ram form. So I let the ultimate form pretty much always run on auto, full auto, and then I take control like one turn before. So this is basically where I took control to make sure that, especially for the ram form, it's very important that Arbice puts on her stone skin so that she can survive and then throw out the decreased speed, so that the ram does not throw out my decreased defense or the proof here, basically. So let's jump into as it converts. As you will see, now I go into the stone skin. So I have Arbice built with lowest crit damage so that ram targets her. As you can see, Marius went down on his HP, which normally, so it didn't, so like that. So now Elva will give him the whale. There's the proof here and a bit of damage as well. And now decreased defense and weaken I can put out. And then as you can see, I'm ready to do these 2 trials. The block debuffs is on. Marius will get the whale. Marius is all set to do damage, and he's going to do both the left and the right trial at the same time. And with the increased accuracy that he's going to give, as you can see, those 2 trials done. And then increased accuracy that he gives, you can put debuffs to activate the central trial as well. I think it will get done now with these 2 debuffs with the increased accuracy. There you go. This is done, and now we just pummeling through a little bit, basically getting back to the abilities. As you can see, I don't have to worry about dying. True Fear is out there, and he's already back. This is also the cool thing with taking extra turns. He's gonna get back to his damage dealing ability as well as his debuff ability, which is this one, very, very quickly. So now I put that on, and as you can see, for this particular trial, the central one, the first one is just putting out debuffs, which you can easily do. The central one, which has currently the 3-star basalt, is basically you need to do damage with having weaken, which is no problem with Lydia, but also the increased crit rate or increased crit damage, which is something I did not have in my previous team, but now I do thanks to Mashald. So I'm gonna be able to do this. And then this one is the one I think I missed this particular run, but you can do it. It's doable. You just have to time the block debuffs basically from Elva. And then this one is super simple because you can do damage any way you like. So this will get done this time round. And then the last trial on the left side, which is to basically deplete the dual bar, which is now, because they've reduced it after the nerf, it's much easier. So let's see. I think on the first run I was able to do 6 trials basically. There I will do the damage, the left trial will get done, as well as the central trial, as you can see. Now this trial, the one in the middle, let me just pause on the right location. Marius, please do the damage. And once I click here, I'll pause. So this one, the central trial, is a trial that Marius cannot do because it has to be a single hit worth 750k, which is also where a damage dealing Mashal comes in, because he can do this damage. He can do the 750k hit and get this trial done as well. So I'll keep it running. I think the Ram will switch form after this, so I will stop at 6 trials for the first run, and then I will basically get back. Yep, the form will switch with 6 trials. 6 trials is also great for the first run, and then I'm just pummeling through this form. We'll have the line form. With the line form, this is where I messed up. I think I'll put it on auto, and then it all got messed up where the team died, as you can see. And then if so much of the team dies, it takes a while for Elva to revive because she's a single target reviver. That's one of the downsides with her. But I still managed to do like 4 of the line form trials, which are easy to do, especially this central one now with Mashald, with a non-enemy max HP damage dealer. I was able to do it earlier as well. It just becomes much easier with a non-enemy max HP champion. The right one is super simple with Leech, because 2 of my champions put out Leech. And then the left one, increased defense, comes from Marius, also super simple. And then in the center, once this trial gets done, the other trial is super simple with doing damage when having decreased defense and decreased speed. So these are the 4 trials that I can do on the lion form. I don't remember if I were able to do in the first round. Let's see. I'll move forward. Actually, I wasn't, because the team died. Yeah, look at this. This is what messed up. This is what threw me off, like almost 30 million in total damage. And then I got done the other trials later. With the Viper form, I can only do now 2 trials, unfortunately, because now I'm missing decrease attack, which Paragon used to bring. So that's one of the downsides, but I'm able to do more of the Ram form trials. So again, it's all about changing your teams to make the trials work. And then I will go back to the Ram form. There it is. And as you can see, the dual bar is active. We will put out the True Fear, and he's going to start doing damage. Marius is going to hit as well once the defense down and weaken is up. There's the smack. As you can see, boom, boom, and boom. 4 million already done. I'll go through a little bit further. Second hit, I think this is going to do it. Exactly, that does it, as you can see. So as I said, I messed up on the right side trial. That's the one I did not time my buffs perfectly. But the second one, I think I was able to do. Let's see. Yeah, here he will get the increase attack as well. That's what Elva gives upon revival. And I think this is, 1 million hit. There you go. The trial is done. So that's the third one. That's the one I missed out in this run, but I can easily do it. It's one of the easier trials to do with blocking 7 stuns twice. He does that ability, so I have 5 champions. 5 times 2, potentially I can block 10. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I will just now take you forward to the final damage, which I already showed as well. Unfortunately, only 198 million damage. So amazing team, very helpful, thanks to Mashald. And what you can see is Arbice. So instead of Arbice, you can use, for example, in Nekmothar, very good champion. You can also use Snicktrack, also a very good champion. You can use Lamasu, also a very good champion. I'm probably missing a few more. Some of you will let me know in the comments. So please read the comments as well, and do let me know in the comments. Elva you can replace with Duchess. You can replace with any reviver / block buffs champion, like a Pythion would also work, but he does miss the whale, so he'll miss out on some trials. So yeah, that's basically some of the trials you might miss if you don't have Elva. Duchess can do it, but then Duchess doesn't bring cleanse, which is also can be a problem. Mashald is going to be key in order to be doing a lot of this stuff. Marius is there for damage as well as for his increased accuracy and increased defense. And then Lydia is just so versatile with her defense down weaken as well as the brimstone I have on her. And of course the block active skills for the Viper form. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be the team. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what teams you are using. If you found, and if you have been using Mashal, an alternate to Mashal that you've been using, please let me know all of that. Thank you very much for watching till the end. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks once again and see you next time.